he had to go into surgery.
So, but other than that, and Moochie, so Mook has lost his wallet and has, so we do have one man down.
Yay, Matt.
Yeah, we have one man down. So Moochie lost his wallet, and I think it has like $3,000 in it right now.
How?
And also,
he wrote it down in one of his notebooks. You know how artists are. You're probably the same way. You have a bunch of notebooks, and then he put one of those notebooks in the massive notebooks. So it's there in his house. I'm pretty sure. It's one of us has to go through all the pages of his notebooks.
Okay, so it's lost in Notebook Mountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But basically, but overall, you know, we haven't had a DAO update. So as everyone knows, though, Act 1 is closed. Woo! And we are, we launched Act 2 already, but the onboarding of Act 2 is a completely different animal than Act 1. So that's why I just wanted to touch base with everyone, because things are going, oh, so good. And everyone in Act 1, I would say, you know, the next week, the next 2 weeks, we should expect everything, lots of resolutions to be going into wallets and lots of activity. We could be processing maybe up to $200,000 in the next like week to 10 days.
Yes.
All the business development that we need for all of Act 2 is already, we're in full engagement with. It's, I don't want to go into any exact details, because also I just, you know, I never want to create, we've all learned our lessons so bad. So I'm just going to kind of hold off on exact time frames, who these people are. But, you know, all of Act 2 is, you know, it's over, what's like $5 or $6 million. So things are really going better than I could have hoped for. Yeah, so basically we're going to be processing like a huge wave coming up. Right now, because there's so much kind of coming in, and these are much larger levels, you know, this onboarding process is a little bit different. Not everyone, you know, Act 1, we're all community, right? So if there was little mistakes like Liana, we're tracking down, for example, the one you and Paul did. It's not a big deal, but you know, we make a mistake at this stage and it could be a big deal, right? It could be embarrassing or whatever. So, you know, it's layering these things in, and so everyone understands, hey, like we're doing all this onboarding for the very first time. But it's just going really, really fantastic. And there's a lot of things, I hope I'm not being too ambitious to go over, right, between now and when I go off to India. But does anyone have any questions or anything they want to raise for, you know, basically what I just said, like Act 2 or Act 1 or anything? Or?
Well, I think the main thing is to congratulate you, It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah, I mean, really has. It was so quick. Scenes 1, 2, and 3. And it was really exciting seeing it happen. So very excited for Act 2. For Act 2. And then on that note, that deck is completed, and I talked to Sam today. He's excited, so we should hear back about that as well.
Nice.
Oh, excellent.
I'd like to second that emotion. I think that, you know, Carrie and I spoke last week, and we were just kind of in awe that this project has gone from thin air to everyone in this meeting's hard work actually becoming a reality. And I just want everyone to just pause and take a breath and inhale some gratitude, because this is happening, and it's kind of miraculous in a very special way. So congratulations to everyone.
Yeah, it's, I mean, listen, I have to pinch myself every day too. I mean, Act 2, we're going to see, you know, what we're going to see in Act 2 is, you know, not insignificant things being funded, right? So this isn't the place to talk about all the projects and stuff yet, but we have 2 film projects already, and probably shouldn't say this yet, but what looks like a property in the south of Italy. Right. So it's really cool. And then Act 3, you know, like, so Act 2, it's once we close this, that's when I think we're really going to be saying hello to the world, because we're going to have a few $1 million. We're going to have serious projects, cooking our own roadmap. is going very well. But when we get to Act 3, right? Act 3 is still where all the everything is, it's way bigger at Act 3. Even Act 1 and 2 is a small percentage of what we're doing, even though it's a lot. And it's like, in principle, it's all we could use too. But Act 3 is where we really want to see the evolution of very strong projects emerge and be funded. And there's not, again, this isn't the call for it, but we're going to see, we could see some very prominent names be building on top of Big Mother DAO. Prominent, they could be, music producers, it could be filmmakers.
Carrie's a big name.
Carrie, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Can't really hear you, but I believe
hear you. I can hear you because you're next to me, but
we can
I
sort
was
of
thinking me. I'm one of the prominent names. It's one of the names you can't say anything. I get it, but you can. I'm giving you permission. You can use it.
I want to say, but Carrie might be working on the project with us. Anyone everyone's hopes to get up. No. But listen, this isn't. Carrie does have something interesting going on. Carrie, now I hear.
I do. I gotta go. I gotta go now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this wasn't the call to go over those projects because I want to have a more focused one when we do that. But Carrie has a really incredible project. He's going to be building on top of what we're doing. And everyone's, funds, are going to be. Hey, Kat, can you turn? I can still hear mine.
He just has.
Oh, okay. And so where we're at too. So scene 4. I mean, I would say, even though we kind of just launched and we've sold, I think, the first 12 already, what really looks like is we only have about 31 left of scene 4. Scene 4 is going to be sold out really quick. So again, if anyone wanted to come in, if they knew anyone who wanted to come in, whatever, because each scene gets more and more expensive. So there's really only maybe like, and honestly, when I say 30, it's really more like 15 or 20. I'm not kidding, for scene 4. So anyone who wants to come in,
that's at 3,000.
This does not include all the co-fund stuff, right? The co-fund thing is what we do as a community. I'm saying as individuals, right? And scene 4 is probably the last time to grow into like something closer to 4x with a co-fund. That opportunity won't exist in scene 5. Right, so that's the other thing everyone should think about. There's a lot of people who were disappointed because Act 1 went so quick. So scene 4 is going to be almost gone.
And remember, scene 4 is $3,240.
Yeah, but isn't that crazy? We're at there already, right? Remember when
Yeah.
it was just $120, the good old days, for $120 you could buy a scene, right? Now it's $3,240.
I have a question regarding, funding and stuff. I did hear you say there's going to be a meeting later about that, but I have seen a couple of the projects on Discord, and I'm just wondering, is that how that's going to happen, as we as a community come together and discuss, the proposals, and then we all say yay or nay, or how does that work?
No, it's decentralized. So all the projects just, right? So, well, it depends on how it's coming in, but in these particular cases, they're coming in from the community, right? So Math, for example, right? Math comes to me, he's coming in and he says, hey, can we do this? Can I make this on top of what we're doing? Yeah, and it's decentralized, just like AkiWiki is decentralized down to a pair conversation, so is our fund. It's decentralized down to essentially, it's my role because I'm the project designer, but I'm representing an office, not an individual. So it's decentralized down to the project designer and then whoever else. So whoever else has an idea, and if it makes sense to the project designer, because it has, the project designer has to go, oh, is this going to make sense for the community, what we're doing for whatever reason? And then the other person, and that's how it works.
Okay.
I had the exact.
I mean, but everyone else in the community can contribute more, right? So for example, other people can, so maps, this again, not place to talk about projects, but if people are into mass projects, they can take some of their funds in the co-fund and also put it into mass projects.
Understood.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Do that.
Yes.
No, I had the exact same.
Wait. I'm sorry.
I had the exact same question, Amber, and spoke to Rome. Trying to figure out how projects would be chosen, etc. I think ultimately it's Rome's the designer of this particular DAO, so it's kind of hitting him up. Would you say that's the way to do it, Rome?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that is one way to do it, like within the community. So if someone has an idea, right? If it sounds like a good idea to me, right? The wallet needs two decisions. It needs the project designer office decision, right? And then someone else who has the idea. That's it. No one else votes on it, but there's, as the project grows and evolves, right? There's just different forms of participation that can open up. And that will be consistent. It won't be me. I mean, right now I have to play, everyone trusts me, right? But I have to play a lot of roles, right? So when I say it's me as the project designer of Why Not World Game. It's not me as the designer of Big Mother DAO. It's
Right.
not me as the CEO of Big Mother Incorporated, right? It's just that particular.
Well, if Carrie's project is actually going to be some kind of a short or a pilot, I want to work on it. Just FYI.
Well, that's up to Carrie, right? So like we would never impose that upon Carrie, and that's the idea, by the way. So the idea is that everyone they can start building the projects.
Thanks,
And for
Amber.
some-
Just
yeah,
give me
and
way
for-
too much credit for really having it together.
And what was I just gonna say to that? Oh yeah, like in some cases it too, right? Like, and now this is going to be true for sure for Moochie. I wanted to, right? But like, for example, you know, I hope this doesn't sound like a weird Web3 exploitation, but it's possible, right? Now, I know this is probably going to be true for Zach, because a lot of people who are building their wallets, we're also working with. So your wallets could also just become something like your salary, or yeah, it's just yours, right? Because you're already working with us, and now you have a big kind of work budget that can, whatever, last a few months or a year or something. So the idea, right? This is how the kind of the whole production company can work. And I'm just looking for at this stage. I mean, we're piloting everything, so it's a very flexible system. The whole system is designed to make it very easy to find a win-win, a very easy win. So not trying to stress everyone out. But what is happening though, is certain people will start to become project designers. I wish Tom was on the call, by the way. So Tom is another filmmaker. I think everyone's gonna be very impressed with him. He's really young kid, right? Not, shows up to a call, not all shaven like Matt, right? Young kid, fresh. I'm just teasing you. No, but really, like I'm very, very impressed. And so already, like he'll have one of the first project designer offices. So he's building a fund for his projects. But then in Act 3, right, he really wants to get bigger funding. So Act 3 is when things can be funded for like $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, things like that.
So where is the place from that, and to follow up, I think of what Amber was saying, I'm a little unclear, like, where's the conversation about the projects? Is that like something on Discord, or is that just something individual between the creators coming to you, or like, how do we be sort of abreast of what are even some of the ideas?
Well, I guess, yeah, there should be like as a platform, we don't have that together right now because there are projects that are in our queue, right? We have like 3 or 4 now, 3 or 4, maybe 5 projects that are already in our funding queue. We just don't have our shit together enough yet to make a formal announcement about these projects, because ideally these projects would have their websites ready, right? We would have stuff to show, but we're still getting, getting Act 1 diligence out the door while we're
Let's get our
Act 2
shit
ready.
together.
Yeah. Well, it's just it's I'm saying. So it's but in principle, yeah, you should be able to go, oh, what are the projects, like emerging, but it's not like this builds through community, right? Through relationships and community. So the people who were invited, obviously only people who are in Act 1 can do this, or people coming into Act 2 now. And pretty much there are already people in our community. So
Well,
yeah. So
are you at liberty? Are you at liberty to sort of synopsize any of them now, or is that something that's a little bit more confidential or premature?
It's premature. It's certainly not confidential. It's just, this was just a much broader update that I would rather do that when we actually close Act 2. And that way when we make, because the idea is that at the close of Act Two, everyone will have money, right? And we want to be able to go, hey, here's all these projects. I will say, right, one of the projects we're funding is my son's college fund,
Oh,
right? So everyone is, and what I'm trying to do at the end of Act Two, right, is that, so especially for the people who came in early, because your multipliers are going to be a lot higher, right? So the idea is, is that if you do want to fund something, so let's say there's all these projects, one will be my son's college fund, right? Whatever, there'll be Carrie's has his project, Math has a film project, right? Whatever, there'll be a number of
I want
projects.
to start a chicken farm.
Amber
Yeah.
has her chicken farm, right? So
smart.
like, yeah, so think of it like, we're just like in this way, we're just like a crowdfunding platform. So the community is also putting things up, or just a fresh company out of nowhere can say, oh, hey, I'm doing something. So just remember, everyone, the community is going to have like $2 or $3 million at that point, right? So one of the things, that's why I don't want to have a formal announcement yet, because things are still being formalized. But I'll just the little teaser, because it could, who knows, that could change. But real estate is being funded in Act Two,
That's
right?
wild.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. But these are people who are building on top of the fund. That's what I'm saying. This is not just me funding a project from the outside and just, hey, we're funding it. You see what I mean? It's people who are in the
Right.
community and say, hey, I really want to do this. Can I use this to build, essentially fund my thing or build on top of it?
Yeah, in theory, any of us could actually, take $5,000 and turn it into a down payment for real estate if we wanted to through this system right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what someone's about to do, is doing in the process. Right.
Smart.
Good. Yeah. So
Maybe
and
smarter
so,
than a chicken farm.
so what I'm trying. Hey, listen, we worked with a very rich family that became billionaires from duck farming. So do not
Oh yeah,
discount.
that is 100% true.
Hey, I'm gonna go back to the chicken farm then. I'll stick with it. You'll see it on Discord. I'm gonna make a full proposal.
So,
Who knew that ducks could farm? I mean, amazing.
You're
I know, right?
Just
What's-
incredible
what's-
stuff.
What's that? What is that? Those animators, the guys from New Zealand, they're brilliant. They have the 3D animatrix. What are they called again?
From where? New
Yeah.
Zealand?
Yeah, they do the cool. It's not animation. It's like the stop motion animation.
Stop
and they
that
have those-
something.
Oh, like
yeah, they have those characters like they're with
Heavy Metal?
weird names. No. They work on farms. It's really funny. It's really brilliant, actually.
Cooper.
I don't know that.
Hi, how you
What's
doing?
up?
How are you guys?
So Cooper, this isn't the place for it, but Cooper is building his own fund off of our fund, right? So that's another
Yeah.
thing. Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, there were, I think, Pete was just asking, right? Just the process of how projects built. So in this one route, is it a plurality? Is that what this is, right? So the idea is that people in the community can just choose to build, their whatever business, their project on top of what we're doing. So they make a contribution to our community, then our community makes a contribution back into their project. And that I was not expecting to emerge so quickly, right? I was thinking more that I would have to go find projects to show everyone by the time we closed Act Two, outside of Big Mother Incorporated, all that stuff, right? I wasn't expecting so much to emerge within the community so quickly. That was cool.
It sounds like from what I'm hearing from just a distanced overview of all the different projects, it sounds like our DAO is funding quality of life projects. There seems to be a lot of personal betterment projects that we're going after that serve basically our vibe. You know what I mean? Yeah, which that's kind of cool actually. We're not just like a profit driven thing. It's more to serve the needs of our community. It's by the community for the community, which is triple dope.
Well, so far too, we're a DAO that's at revenue. So if you follow conversations on Twitter. A lot of DAOs still haven't made any money yet. They're still figuring all that out. So can you guys hear that?
Yes.
A cacophony of horn. Yeah, so we're at revenue, right? So it's pretty amazing. And I don't like creating expectations, learn lessons, but you know, Act 2 is gonna the pacing of Act 2 is gonna resolve very nicely. So yeah, we're at revenue, and it's just going incredible. And the people who are coming into it now, by the way, these are very sophisticated people on the crypto side as well as the classic or investor side, and their level of enthusiasm is just as high, right? And it's totally building on top of everything we did in Act 1 that everyone saw at the early stage, right? They're coming at it now from a much bigger bird's eye view of it, and just as much enthusiasm.
Rad.
Good stuff.
Yeah. It's
Thanks for the big ups there, Rome. Sophisticated. Yeah, I like to think of myself like that.
you know, Carrie, it's like crazy. It's because it says that your microphone's on mute, but we can hear you talk. How are you? You hacked the system.
We're hearing him for his second. Aren't you joined twice?
Oh yeah, he's joined on a second one. That's
He's
So
He's
high
just-
tech.
yeah, he's fooling you. He's playing with you.
All
Rome.
right, so just to do right, like Oscar's on the call, right? Where is Oscar?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's just not pictured.
All right, so I am going to India end of February. Right now, I'm using like February 21st, 22nd. We're going to do the best we can, so we have to adjust dates, but we want to have at least one Why Not World Game Bay night before I go to India. That's very, very important. So we have to coordinate that, and want to know if we use, like, if I go to India, let's say February 25th, or it could be March 1st. Does that give us enough time, right, to do this? But whatever it is, we should move on it, like now, like this is, I think, what we're ready to start planning.
Are you asking us, like, who wants to like host a Bay night, or are you talking?
No. It's not.
You want us to throw you a party?
It's not the hosting of the night. We have at least the number of potential hosts for that. It's just coordinating it, right? We have, I think, like 3 already.
RSVP invites and time and date, and bring your own beer, etc.
And bringing people too.
Yeah. But I'm saying is like we're not gonna have enough time to do. I wanted to do like 3 before I left for India. Just not gonna have the time. So the idea is now I don't want to go into much details, but with some of the people who are on this call, we talked about this already. Like, there is an ideal scenario, right? Someone in our community has amazing location, has expressed high enthusiasm. It could be possible, right? But we just have to start doing it, right? And that's it. Like right now, like what everyone should expect is, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I want to create the expectation that all of Act 2 will be closed by the time I leave for India. But by the time I leave for India, there's a lot of activity that will have happened. And one of those activities is the Why Not World Game Bay Night. And all of Act 1 closing out. So basically all of Act 1, I mean closing out, I mean all the wallets receiving all their. So basically everyone who came in early is gonna.
Rome, are you fluent in Punjabi, or are you bringing like a Google Translator situation?
I'm fluent. I'm fluent in Punjabi.
Yes.
Or but I am fluent in English, and so is a huge portion of the population of India. So, but I prefer to practice my Punjabi.
Well, it's not the native language, and I just know that the stuff that you're communicating can be kind of high end sometimes, and there's subtleties to it. So I just wanted to give you every edge possible with your communication when you're overseas. That's the only reason why I brought it up.
No, I appreciate it. We have that's another thing too, like another huge update. Like, we have our community is way bigger, by the way, than the folks on this call right now, for sure. We have a whole community now on the other side of the world in India that's growing really fast. Neaton, who's no one has met yet. He's the CEO of OnGraph, very impressive guy. He's launching Upwork for crypto through Big Mother DAO, right? He's launching a huge development, a dev platform. So and we're kind of, he's building everything off of kind of what we're doing already. So we have a lot of activity happening in a lot of community. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Neaton is the smartest guy me and Rome know by a long way.
Neaton is so smart. Yeah, he's a computer scientist, very impressive business acumen, CEO, right?
He gets things really fast.
Yeah, like, yeah. So yeah, we're in India is it's gonna be a very and I'm gonna be there for up to 3 months, so I'm gonna be gone, right? So that's why we want to get one of these Why Not World Game Bay nights before I go, and the hope is once everyone just sees one night, it's pretty easy. Like, so that way if they want to continue, and if it needs to continue, maybe it doesn't need to, but if it needs to continue while I'm gone, right, people can just do small.
Do we have someone designated that's scheduling and organizing and getting all that sorted, or because it kind of sounds like you're bringing it up to us when really you're kind of doing it. Do you need to delegate, or what's happening with that, getting the Bay night?
Well, yeah, no, I guess I've already with the people who are doing that. Yeah, we've already had the conversations and stuff.
Okay.
How big is your yard again, Amber?
It's about 60 feet out in the front.
And how many chickens are in there?
Don't count your chickens before they hatch, man.
Ah, there you go. There we have it.
Is there anything else? No. Okay, cool. So if that's all.
Do you want to rally everyone to help on Twitter or do any community?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's always good if people like right now, but it's not like we need pushing. But yeah, it's always nice to support on Twitter, right? Okay. That's always nice. For sure.
I'm posting a lot on Twitter, guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, Zach should be focusing on that a lot. Oscar, if you could help with that, that's cool, right?
I'm on it every day.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. So, but no, it's not like we don't really rely on Twitter for anything actually when it comes down to it. Even though I gotta say, two of the crypto funds that have come to us have come through Twitter. Cult DAO and 100X. Yeah, they have totally came through Twitter, so it's been worth it.
Okay, well, listen, Godspeed, everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Well, stand by because this is like
you too, Amber. Oh,
the January took a little longer to start off because it really wasn't until the 15th of January when I felt everyone was kind of back from vacation and in the flow of business. So, but we'll have maybe another one of these. Oh yeah, we should schedule these like once a week now too. That was the other thing.
I thought we were doing bi-monthly. No, weekly.
Well, it's okay. I could be available once a week to it just makes it easier, right? So it's not like everyone has to go to every single one, but I think if we have one once a week, right? I think, and if it gets canceled, it gets canceled. Because I'm leaving.
We haven't had a lot of meetings. I feel like everybody's just kind of.
There's no organization there, right? So I can't. It's too much for me to always organize myself. That's
why don't we just create a standing one, and those who can show up will show up. I mean, it's kind of easier if we just repeat it every week.
I second.
Well, that's the easy part. Yeah, of course.
And then you don't have to think about it. We'll all just show up to the Zoom link. You don't have to even have anybody organizing it.
Well, we could just how about time. Wednesday 6 p.m.
I mean, I thought that was the point.
Was it the point? Did you tell Zach that it was going to be every Wednesday already?
I said every other Wednesday because we're gonna. Because the other Wednesdays we're gonna be international, like in the morning for us or in the very late.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so I see. So like 8 a.m. Wednesday for UST and IST, and then
that's probably Sunday, but we'll hammer out the details. My big question though is, do we want to open it up to Twitter Spaces so people outside the DAO can ask questions and interact with us.
Yes, but honestly, that's too much right now. I mean, right now, it's, you know, it's all I can do to keep up with what we have right now. We don't need that. We're gonna want to do that when Act 2 is closed, because we're gonna have a lot of money to put ourselves out there. I'll be able to, we'll be able to pay people to, hey, let's do a nice professional podcast, professionally produced, right? All that stuff. We'll have so I'd rather just do all that stuff there. And the little seeding that we do here and there, that's really all we have ever needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love
Um,
for one, because I'm really excited about Amber's eggs, I have to say.
Yeah.
Um,
And this is the symbol for everyone. Get ready because the action is close. So just be ready because we're coming up on it. Let's go.
all
all right, so
let's see.
did we decide Wednesdays at 6 then? Was that a
Wednesdays,
cons-
yes, that's confirmed. Wednesdays.
All right, then we'll all just roll in. Nobody has to organize. We'll just roll into this call. Yeah?
Okay.
So
Well,
that's
no,
some-
no, but we should send out some kind of confirmation in code.
Yeah,
and
sort out
stuff.
some Google invites or something, Zach.
The Google invite, I'm just going to extend. I'm going to repeat it every.
Yeah.
Recurring meeting. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, but oh, hold on. But is the code gonna be the same for Zoom? Will that still work?
We can update that
You can update. Okay.
every Wednesday or every other Wednesday.
Other.
Other
Every
Wednesday.
other. Every other.
You got it.
Cool.
Rock
Alright.
on, you guys. Peace out.
Okay.
Bye, my chickens.
Bye.
Hi.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Cooper.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.